Periva Sharanam. Thus spake the Paramacharya. Nature, a manifestation of God's power. Everything that we see in nature has a specific function and a purpose. There is nothing in nature that is without a function and a purpose, and all things in nature are made with a function and a purpose by someone. Who is that someone? The plank on which I am now seated was previously a log of wood, a branch of the tree that is standing there. The branch had fallen from that same tree. This plank of wood was made by a carpenter to a particular design and order, and also a purpose for it to seat someone on it. But when one sees the fallen branch of the tree, no one thinks that a carpenter had made it. Why is it so? This plank is made to a definite shape and with an order. It is given a purpose to seat somebody on it. It is made to the shape of a correct rectangle with raisings under to prevent the mud of the earth from covering it. When we see the plank made out of a log, we think that there must be someone who made it to a shape. Now we think of the carpenter who would have made it to a particular shape and given it a purpose. The log of wood cannot make itself to a definite shape with a purpose. So, there must have been some super intellect that has given the log a definite shape and made it to serve a purpose. The branch of the tree lies there with knots and twists and bends. The order or shape which has come to this plank was not there in that log of wood. Because there is no such order or design in the log, it has not fulfilled any purpose. So, we observe the presence of a super intellect which has given the log of wood a shape and a purpose. If the tender mangoes are fallen under a tree, we think that they have all fallen by themselves. But if the same are kept in heaps, we see an order in them and we imagine that someone has heaped it there for personal use or for sales or for distribution to all freely. In certain things, there may be purpose without any order. If there is a disorder in our house, we infer that some thief has looted the house and left it in such disorder. But we infer that there is a super intellect behind a thing in which there exists an order and a purpose. If we think about that fallen branch and the root or base of that log, the plant family, we will know that till it fell down from the tree, there was a very tender nerve system as the blood streams in our human body, taking water and manure from below the earth. The branch was functioning with a purpose to keep the tree living. There came sprouts from the knots in the branch with tender silk-like leaves. The nerves in the leaves produced the chlorophyll to keep the tree and leaves bright and alive. It is from these tender sprouts that sprouted from these knots soft, beautiful flowers blossomed. In the plant species, there are plants giving flowers and fruit producing trees. The plants which give flowers may not give fruits, but there can come no fruit without the flowers, with exception of the atti tree and the thorny guava tree. It is very surprising to see how these plants and trees improve and increase their species. There are beautiful flowers in the plants, and the flowers are made with a superb design or order. The flowers also have the purpose of gladdening the hearts of the people who see them. Naturally, we feel happy when we see a beautiful flower whose petals are well arranged to a proper design. The honey bees come to the flowers and, attracted by their beauty and charm, suck the honey from the flowers. The flowers, in addition to the purpose of feeding the honey bee, have a secret purpose. It is that the plant species are developed by the process of pollination done by these honeybees. Thus, there is an intricate trick which an inert object cannot accomplish. There are some colorless flowers which attract the honeybees by their sweet smell or fragrance. Flowers like the jasmine or champangi, though they are not colorful, but they attract the bees by their fragrance. There are other flowers which have neither color nor fragrance, yet bees settle on them by an unknown trick. Can these inert objects contrive to do such things except by a superintelligence? Similarly, nature provides a lot of variety. There are flowers blossoming in the morning or at night, and the flowers are of different hues and colors. The white flowers which blossom only during the night, like the jasmine or champangi, are of pure white color so as to be visible during night. In the same manner, large number of particles go around the nucleus of an atom at great speed, and the planets go around the sun. All these happen in nature, set as it were to a definite and unchanging order. From all these, we understand that an inert nature is making all things to function set as they were with a purpose and an order. But there are different sets of rules for each of the things in nature, from the atom to the planets in the universe. How many variety of rules are there? Not only that, though there are definite rules for each of the things in nature, there are exceptions in each category, like the trees which bring forth fruits without flowers. If we consider all these above, we will come to know that nature is not inert, but it is a great, powerful, alive and agile, which enjoys in variety of charm or beauty. We infer that there is a great power supreme with a super intelligence behind all these things in nature. The plants which flower and the trees with fruits develop their progeny and perpetuate their species in a very deft manner. The trees give sweet fruits to the men. This is an explicit purpose in the trees. In addition, there is also a secret purpose. The man plants the seeds of the fruits, and thus the tree perpetuates its species and brings forth new trees out of the seeds planted by the men. This is a hidden but selfish purpose of the trees by which they develop and perpetuate their species. Thus, the trees fulfill a minor and a major purpose for their creation in nature. By analyzing all these facts, we come to know that an inert object cannot by itself bring about an order or a purpose into itself. Based on our premise, that is basic knowledge or inference, there must have been a carpenter to make a plank out of a log of wood. We can infer that there must be a greater and more skillful carpenter or a craftsman to make the tree which has greater purpose and more order. That carpenter or craftsman must necessarily be a great expert, while we demonstrate outwardly all our creations. He who does greater wonders carries out all his activities in the making of these very many things with very intricate skill and enjoyment. At the same time, he conceals himself and proves that he is cleverer and wiser than all of us. He nullifies all our deeds. Man does not like to eat the fruits of the neem tree, but God, the supreme intellect, has given it to the crow which eats the neem fruit with great relish. The crow cannot grow the neem tree like the man and develop the species. The crow eats the fruit and leaves the nut at a different place away from the shade of the tree so that it may grow well. The power behind this event is the Supreme Being who keeps order and purpose in the things in nature. The trees take the carbon dioxide that we exhale and give the sweet fruits to eat and satisfy our taste. Again, we change the fruit into manure to the same tree. Thus, God, with His supreme skill, has fused the various inert and living things, Jiva Jada Prapancha, in nature with utmost deftness in a manner as they will be helpful to one another. Thus, God has fused the innumerable things in nature, like the trees, mountains, oceans, the worlds, stars, and planets, in His inimitable nature to the dismay and wonder of all. These things exist and move in close connection for fulfilling many purposes. If we think over this phenomenon, we will come to understand that we call as nature that appears as jada or inert is not a thing but the Leela of the Ishvara or God who motivates everything and who is very much a Jiva Chaitanya or energy par excellence. Periyava Sharanam.